Hello, this is Zedis. Welcome to another Mario Maker 2 video, clearing more Uncleared 2021 levels. And I'm not sure how many more of these are going to be for this year anyway, because there are fewer than 4,000 levels left, and man, these levels are kicking my ass. Yeah, they're going to get harder and harder now. I got one on each style that's left. I know Super Mario Bros. 3 is entirely cleared. Super Mario Bros. 1 was nearly cleared. I know the one pixel perfect level I did attempt last week got cleared. So I would actually assume it's done. But anyway, we'll start off with the new Super Mario Bros. U, and of the three that I play, this one is garbage. This one is by far the worst. Japanese hot garbage. We start off with 3 rooms of awful boss fights. We have 2 Boom Booms, a Wendy, and then a Roy and Morton fight in the 3rd room. And this might not be too bad, but he has it very cramped with note blocks everywhere. And then when these guys step on note blocks, they fly around, and especially the Koopalings will be spinning in their shells and will just like fly around. He does give me 2 power-ups. He gives me a Fire Flower and a Squirrel Nut. And so if I lose one, I can actually go back and get the other one. It took me a few tries to figure out how to get through these Boom Booms easily. It's actually very easy not to get hit in this room. The Wendy fight's a little harder, but not too bad. It's just one Koopaling. But the 3rd room is, I don't know if it's more cramped or just because there's 2 giant Koopalings in it, but it's a pain in the ass. You saw I went back and got this squirrel. Here's the 3rd room. Oh no, here's the 2nd room. Wendy shoots this ring, and there's not a lot of room for her to move around, and she's bouncing off these no blocks, and it can be pretty dangerous here. Very easy to get hit. Look at how she flew at me, man. She's blasting. So it took me... When I looked at the program, just to see what I was dealing with. We're probably past the point where there are going to be dev blocks, or if there are, that they don't help that much. I'm pausing it to check it, make sure. But it looked like after the boss fights, it wasn't too bad. There's a checkpoint, thankfully. And it looked like it wouldn't be too bad after that, and it turns out the second part of it is almost as bad as the first part, but I do think the first part is this Morton Roy fight, and Morton has the key, so I don't have to really worry about Roy. This is probably the hardest part. But yeah, I mean, you can probably guess that the guy is at least the rest of them aren't boss rushes, although there are going to be bosses. They're not tight little room boss fights. You know, he could have just went the same route and given me a checkpoint. I don't know. Kind of thankfully he didn't, because I don't like these kind of fights at all. I'm not a big fan of Koopaling fights in general. Yeah, this is just annoying. Very hard. You see Roy coming out of the ceiling. Both of these guys stun ya, so you have to be really careful. You might have all the Koopalings in this. I didn't count them. I don't remember how many. Are there 7 of them? I don't remember. I think there's 7 of them because there were 7 worlds in Super Mario Bros. 3, and then the last world at Bowser. I think that's correct. So 8 worlds total in Super Mario Bros. 3. Anyway, yeah, this is rough. I forgot about his little fire. Yeah, we're gonna actually do the whole first half of it at this point. See how easy I got down these boom. The Boom Booms are super easy. You just take the Fire Flower and blast them. You get to the right side of the room. You don't want to stand on the left side of the room because there's not a good way to do it. But you can just get right through those guys. Wendy, you still have a possibility of getting hit, especially with her ring, dodging both things. Sometimes you can get to her before she shoots the ring, which is nice, but it's very hard, and it's a little bit RNG. Sometimes she shoots it faster than other times. Yeah, she hit me a second time. I'm not gonna go back and get the fire flower or the squirrel nut yet. Here, I probably think I'm dead right now. And I did use more lives than I'm showing too, because this did take me quite a few. I can't remember, like 40 lives maybe total for the level. So I would guess maybe 20 in each half of it. Yeah, the second half I thought would be a lot easier, but it's pretty rough too. Just skip over, back, get through these guys. We have 2 hits, and my strategy was just to go under, because actually if he's spinning around, he'll not be able to go between those two, under those 2 middle blocks. But if you hit him too close to it, he will go through. So yeah, I did get hit there. Yeah, just avoid Roy. If Roy's in his spinning form, he'll hit you. Here's the checkpoint. He gives you another fire flower. And we're to the right of the boss fight. And then there's just a bunch of spam. And it's enough where it becomes a real pain. Like you're gonna get hit at some point. You have to wait through these donut blocks, and then the Koopalings will blast you. There's other Koopalings over here. They'll hit you with their magic while you're waiting. Very annoying. And there's no blocks are just so annoying. They're so bad. That Goomba fell on my head many times. I got a little too rough with that snake block there. And I eventually started avoiding this platform because it was so... The slow move down, I just jumped down. You can go above, if you want to take damage. There is another fire flower a little further on. Yeah, very hard to avoid their magic when you're bouncing around on those damn note blocks. You get to this column of donut blocks, and then the Bowser fire starts coming. Now you don't have to kill any of these guys. There's no other key. I should have done a little twirl there or something. I would have probably survived, but I missed it. I have a fire flower at this point, so I'm pretty powerful. And I did not realize that was gonna happen. Head crushed. Head crushed. I did that at least twice. And yeah, there's a fire flower right down here, so if you take damage, you can just fall down and get it. There are a lot of Goombas down there, so you have to be careful. Bunch of thwomps. Thwomps on top of thwomps. You know, I lost all my power up for that. Thanks a lot, garbage. Blind thwomps. There's 2 Bowser Juniors and a Bowser, and then the goal is right beyond there, but there's more note blocks, and I thought, please don't let him shoot me. But he doesn't even have to shoot me. He goes through the wall. His hitbox goes through the wall because he's so big, which is retarded. But I'm sorry for using that word. I shouldn't have. But anyway, ridiculous. So my goal is actually, you could steal the fire clown car and kill him. Probably wouldn't be too hard. It would take so much time though. Probably the safer way though. If you're get this in endless and don't want to lose lives, that's probably how you should do it. But you know, fighting those Bowser Juniors and Bowser at the same time. So I got over here with the mushroom. I know he's gonna hit me once. But he's dead now. He gets killed if the thwomp goes up. But I hit a note block and I went right into the fire. Bowser Jr. shot a little fireball. Here's the final life. Yeah, I jumped down here. I'm sick of waiting for that platform. Yeah, sometimes you're just kind of hoping that you don't get hit. And hoping is too much. It just doesn't work. Gotta wait for this Goomba. Is annoying. He's just there to annoy you. Instead of jumping up and dying like I did before, losing my power up, I will go up here. I have to say, well, I'll use my iframes to get the other fire flower. I know these thwomps aren't gonna help me, so I just run past them, get past this guy, and I'm gonna try the same exact strat again. I don't want to fight that Bowser Jr. I know I'm gonna get hit once. Bowser's gonna die, and I'm hoping he doesn't hit. Bowser Jr. doesn't hit me. He almost did. Trying to get over there with the fire flower, but it didn't work. Yeah, well, garbage level. Doesn't let me leave comments. Probably a good thing for me. Aha. We're gonna move on to 3D World. And by the way, you've already seen, I think, I'm gonna put as the thumbnail, the Super Mario World level took me the full record time. In fact, it took me about 6 hours. Super Mario 3D World took me about 90 minutes, maybe. This one was pretty tough, and actually a good level. I like the style of level. It's a speed run, where you have to throw a crate through pipes and catch up to it in different ways. I actually recorded this for almost 90 minutes, and then I erased it so I didn't have such a large file, and then I ended up beating it in 5 minutes. So I think did I even cut this? I might not even cut this at all, because it probably only took me like 6 or 7 lives, maybe not even that many. So I'm well practiced at this point, so I'm like just going through this pretty easily. This isn't a very tight speed run. He gives you 100 seconds. I did notice his upload time was 60 seconds, so I wasn't too worried about going too slow. The problem is you have to keep up with the box, because the box will land in lava. You can't grab it. You have to hit that on-off switch, turn those, you know. This part took me forever to figure out, by the way. This is where I lost most of my lives, trying to figure out this section right here. Those arrows to the left, they just don't mean anything. It's just, I do not understand what he wants me to do. The first section I had actually had down for a long time. Probably within 10 minutes of playing it, I was pretty good at the first section, although you will see me die a couple of times here. If you go too fast there, you hit that guy, you can't survive that. Yeah, the second section is where I lost most of my. The subworld is much harder than the. I would say if it was just the overworld, this level would have been fantastic. Just a really good speed run. You know, probably 20 seconds, maybe less. Yeah, here I messed up that throw, and then you get the bullet, and you can't pick up the box. I think I probably beat it on this life. I don't remember. We'll see. But yeah, it was really well designed. I just feel like in the subworld there's a little bit of a confusing part, maybe a couple of confusing parts. Yeah, throw it backwards, shoot that, lose your power up. Yeah, this is really pretty well designed at this point. Shoot this. I do think he could have a better way for you to take damage, because it's just a little slow, but it doesn't really matter. It took me a minute to figure out you have to Z-jump to get that propeller. Shoot at the arrows. You have to go backwards for that box. Sometimes you have to pause a little too. You want to hit this guy, catch it, throw it. You get that propeller box. The best way to do this is to get hit immediately and just use the iframes. Because if you use the propeller box, actually use it, it actually is too slow, and you can never catch that box. I think that's a kind of a clever little troll, I think. Unless he just did it that way and was faster than I was. I could never make it, though. The part with the 2 piranha plants and you have to grab it and throw it into that top pipe, that was the part that gave me the most difficulty. I was stuck on there forever. But yeah, really good level, honestly. I've seen other levels like that. A lot of people like to do the bomb levels like that. Those are really cool. where you have to catch the bomb and keep throwing it in there. Yeah, pretty good speedrun. It actually took me maybe 100 lives, maybe a few more. Yeah, no, probably 130 lives, something like that. It did take me about an hour and a half at least. So we're gonna go on to the Super Mario World level. This is honestly one of the most difficult levels I've ever beaten, and I do beat it. Spoiler alert. I would call this a precision level, and it's a good level. Honestly, it's very hard. I think I could complain. I do think the first 2 sections are doable, but very difficult, and I think the third section is a little too hard. You have to be a little too perfect to get through it. But even in these first 2 sections, you have to be really careful, really like follow his orders directly, or follow his path directly. But it's pretty clear what you're supposed to do for the most part. Low gravity, airship, or no, sky theme at night, low gravity. I love the look of this. I think the level looks fantastic too. You see these red pipes spitting these spike balls. It's all going to be about bouncing Z, jumping off of these spike balls. And you see me try for a very long time to get through this at first. Each section was actually pretty short. The upload time was only 1 minute. And I have the full 99 minutes. You can delay, especially since these red pipes, but if you don't go right away, it doesn't really work out. There's also issues with spawning in this level. You do have to make sure you're jumping off things at the right time. His indication is somewhat difficult to get. And sometimes you really have to work at how you manipulate the spawning and things like that. When you jump off of things, it took a while to figure out. And yeah, and I could definitely complain that this is unfair. I don't know. I just really like this level. It was just an incredible challenge, but it was a fun one. It was very frustrating, obviously. Like I said, I think I said it already. This took me 6 hours. One of the reasons I couldn't have 2 from every style. It probably would have killed me if I tried that, given how hard these ones were. Yeah, even that new Super Mario Brothers U level took me like 45 minutes, and I was pretty sure I could have done that quicker. Here we get the first checkpoint. Obviously, I'm skipping over a lot of deaths. I really had to figure out when I could go here. But the thing is, if you don't go right away, that second spike ball is already spawned, and they are kind of out of sync. Absolute kudos to the guy who uploaded this and beat it in one life without the checkpoints, because you have to do it that way, obviously. It had to have been an incredible challenge. For every single thing to line up, and especially after the checkpoint, it feels like they don't line up the same way. Yeah, I tried to do a low grab spring drop, which are actually pretty easy. I knew that wasn't going to help me. Yeah, you kind of have to figure out, okay, do I go now? The timing is not it's very precise, but it's not easy for the maker to indicate. Like I said, I could easily complain about this level. I just think it's a cool level. And I just kind of appreciate how difficult it is. It's unfair for sure, but it's also just, I just really like the look of it and the style of it and what you have to do. I think it's just really cool, and it never pissed me off enough where I went to boo it. Whereas that new Super Mario Brothers U level, I booed it literally the first life because I knew it was garbage. Yeah, I call it a precision level because you really have to be precise at where you land and where you hit these balls, and obviously you have to dodge these munchers, which are very difficult. These icicles He probably uses very few items in the game. Munchers, some springs. Yeah, you had to really like. So you have to go to the right there. There's a pipe and there's a checkpoint through the pipe. You have to really precisely figure out when you have to hit the ball. His coin indicators. That's all the indicators he has are difficult to understand, I think, and they don't work exactly like I think. I mean, he might have had his own way of doing this. I might not have done it the same exact way. I think that's probably more the case. I think the indicators probably made a lot of sense to him. But yeah, they don't. Like you have to really, you know, when the ball, that first ball, it has to be kind of falling a little before you go. This one, you want to make sure that when you last bounce off of it, you can bounce over these guys. And I barely made that. I hit the ceiling there. I'm gonna go see what's up here. There is a just a free guy, but you know, hey, why not? You saw that there was a free guy at the end of the first section as well. It's kind of funny. He gives you that free guy. He gives you this free guy if you are good, and then there is a way to get to the top of the goalpost at the end. But I was like, nah, I'm not. So anyway, I got to this part within maybe 45 minutes, maybe a half an hour. This is the second checkpoint. So 6 hours on this section alone. And the thing is, if I get to the second checkpoint and it was already difficult and I'm like, I'm gonna beat this level, I'm not gonna give up on the second checkpoint. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. And getting this section to work is extremely look at how tight everything is. You can see why I call it a precision level with this. Icicles, you don't have much room. I did figure out after a very long time is what he wants you to do. You have to time that first jump perfectly. You don't want to hit the jump button over the first two munchers. And then you go further down with these three munchers to the right here. And you actually like loop around them. And that's how you're supposed to line it up. But man, I could never get this to work. I could never get over both of these munchers and hit it at the exact spot that I need to just loop around them. So I actually figured out a different way, which we'll see in a minute. You'll see me try many times to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do here. Honestly, I wish I could show you every single way I died, because if you could see these X's where I died, this whole room would be covered with X's. This whole section. This first part probably took me the most time. Yeah, so I go down. You're not supposed to do this. And actually, that makes the spawning of these balls a little more difficult to figure out. The cannon shoots, but you go to the right, you have to get it to shoot again, and it won't shoot right away. You have to hit that ball going low. Now what you see it bounce out. Now, this is one of the hardest parts of the level, is getting through that icicle and that muncher, that very narrow space. And then when you hit the ball coming out of the cannon to the right, it's very easy to hit those icicles. I hit that icicle right there many, many times. Yeah, perfect. I hit those icicles so many times. I can't believe I never found a life. Oh, this right here. You see one ball here? There's actually supposed to be two. Once in a while it would jank out. And yeah, I could get mad about that too. It only happened like 2 or 3 times out of the many dozens of times. That's what it's supposed to look like. 2 balls. You're supposed to hit the bottom one and loop around to the top one. It's very hard, and like figuring that out was difficult. It's really hard to get through the first parts to practice that. Yeah, if you hit that ball coming on the cannon to the left really low, that's what you have to do. Yep, here. Bounce, bounce. And then here, this section, you have to fall and not hit those munchers. And then you have to bounce off that ball and not hit that icicle. And then there's another ball coming out of a red launcher. This is going to be the last life. And you have to hit an up pipe. And I got to up pipe maybe 3 times before I actually hit it. And this actually took me like more than 1,400 lives to beat. It's ridiculous how hard this was. I hit those munchers many times. You have to hit that really low. So yeah, you have to hit that ball there, and then it bounces up, and you have to hit the up pipe. Very hard to go up pipes. I come in here, I see this kid, and I freak out, and I run away, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to come at me very fast. Thankfully, he lets me get the bottom of the flagpole. Thankfully, because I don't even know what he wants me to do to get up there. I don't even want to know. It's probably a perfect jump, and you loop around those munchers. I ain't risking that shit, man. I ain't. There's no way. Man, I hope you like that one, because that one was rough. But I do like it, and I can't comment on it. I wish I could comment on it, because see this time? That's a clear time. So hey, if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will see you next time.